guys, Movie Junkie for Life here, and today we're going to take a look at Hereditary, written and directed by Ari Aster and starring Toni Collette, Millie Shapiro, and Gabriel Byrne. Hereditary tells the story of, well, a family's matriarch has just passed away, and after she dies, strange occurrences start happening to that family. So Hereditary. First of all, I really have to take a deep breath. Just finished watching Germany and Sweden play, and oh boy, okay, so my boys are in, so that's out to do with now. I can breathe again. Let's talk Hereditary. First of all, when I saw the marketing for this movie, the first thing they had flash up big on screen is that Hereditary is this generation's Exorcist, the Exorcist. And I was like, okay, because every time a horror movie does that, most recently was Veronica. Veronica was touted as the scariest movie ever. And that I always think that's not a wise thing to do when it comes to any kind of movie, far less horror films. You set the bar so high that when people go in, they're like, okay, this is supposed to be as good as a film like The Exorcist. Is it really? And then everything after that, you're just judging it against that movie. Now, Hereditary is the type of horror film that's not going to appeal to mass audiences. It's more along the lines of The Babadook, The Witch, It Comes at Night, those type of films where it's more cerebral than terrifying. Granted, this movie does have a lot of terrifying things going on. Visually, the director, Ari Aster, he did amazingly with this movie. They actually built the house as a stage, as a sound stage, so he was able to get the kind of shots that you would not normally get, and it works really well. Another aspect I really liked about this movie was it's one of those horror films, and this is something, as a horror fan, the quiet moments I always find those genuinely creepier than anything that could happen in a movie. I'll use The Exorcist as an example, actually. The Exorcist is a film that a lot of people find terrifying. I don't. Even I saw it as a kid and it did not scare me, except for a couple of moments. And those moments being when Pazuzu's face would flash in the darkness of a room. If you looked, you would see Pazuzu's face and then it would fade out. I find shit like that very, very creepy. And Hereditary has moments like that. There are moments you're watching this movie and it takes you a while. And then you realize there's something or someone standing in the corner of the room. Chills. Stuff like that I really find intensely terrifying. Those quiet moments. As for the acting in this film, Toni Collette is a standout here. Millie Shapiro is really good in her role as the daughter, as a young daughter. But what Toni Collette had to do in this movie is praiseworthy. It's a shame that the Academy doesn't really look at genre films the way we do, because she deserves every accolade she could get for this movie. Her performance, her level of emotions in this film are so intense, and she has to carry that through the entire film. She's outstanding in this film. She steals every scene she's in, and she's in top form in this movie. Gabriel Byrne does a good job because with him, his character is a lot more grounded. He's kind of like us, the audience, actually, I feel like, because he's the one who's wondering if any of this is really supernatural or if his wife is just insane. And Hereditary, as for the supernatural stuff, it is there. I don't want to get into it too much. The last 20 minutes of this movie is balls to the wall horror. It's really, really well done. It's very intense. It's very scary. The rest of this movie, it's more like a drama with horror elements to it. And I like stuff like this. I really do. I like horror movies that have you wondering if what you're seeing is supernatural or mental. And Hereditary makes for a good argument with, like The Babadook, is it really all just happening in somebody's head? Because it's more like this film is an allegory for mental illness, you know, and that fear that you might have if you have a mentally ill mother or father, and those genes being passed on to you or to your children. You know, you can look at Hereditary like that, or you could look at it as a straight up supernatural movie. Another aspect of this film, for me visually, I was sitting in the cinema and I was like, this movie reminds me of Don't Look Now. And I don't know how many people have seen that movie, but in terms of the atmosphere of this film, I would not compare this film to The Exorcist. I would compare it to Don't Look Now. That's the movie that came to mind while I was watching this. And Millie Shapiro has a huge part to play in that for me, as to why I felt that way about the movie. So is Hereditary a good movie? I'm going to say yes. For horror, I should say for hardcore horror fans, for the horror fans, so the mainstream stuff is fine, but it doesn't really do anything for you at this point in time. Hereditary is going to appeal to those fans more than mainstream fans. Mainstream fans who go into this movie expecting a slasher type thing or like a really hardcore supernatural horror, they're going to be disappointed. I, for one, I would say Hereditary is a strong 7 out of 10. This is a very good film. It's very visually, it's very well shot, it's well acted. I like the atmosphere. I like those moments, like I said, where I notice things in the background. This director, I would definitely seek out his work after this. But if you're just a mainstream horror lover, maybe you prefer slashers like my boyfriend. He's a fan of zombie movies. He likes slashers. He doesn't like supernatural horror. I would not recommend this to him or to people like that, because they're going to watch it and they're going to be disappointed. So Hereditary gets a 7 out of 10. And that's it, guys. So I hope you liked this video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like below. It's much appreciated. If you want to subscribe to my channel, you can click on my face over there. And I also do small reviews using the app Stardust. My name there is the same, Movie Junkie, capital M, capital J. And that's going to be it for me, guys. So if you are a fan of these kind of movies, definitely check this one out. And until next time, bye-bye.